Something weird and nonsensical as we go live.
So, no, I got nothing. I'm sorry. I was trying to think of something funny with my cat. I was trying to think of something funny with my cat, but he hasn't done anything lately.
Stop doing funny things with your cat, Dawn.
I know.
See, there we go. That worked.
I thought Dirk was busy today. I know, he's the one who organizes everything and then is
I did poke him.
On.
But yeah.
Hello, thanks for having me. I'm super stoked. And I was really loud for some reason. Sorry.
Hey, no worries.
Not to us. I am never in a cheap seat with you. And
yep.
This is Eric's muted. You're still muted. Did you fix that?
Caleb's there you go. Caleb's not muted anymore. Well done.
No.
We were just saying that everything was running smooth and stuff. And of course,
no, everything is running smooth. We can't help it if you have fucked up.
No, I was not the one muted. Eric was the one muted.
Eric's the one that's muted.
Oh, right, okay. Well, never mind. Here we go. Well, at least we're not muted now, so that's good. You might as well run through the intro again, Eric.
Yeah, we'll do that. All right, that looks better. Sorry about that, folks. There is something that went wonky on my PC that didn't pick up my microphone. That's kind of weird. Anyway, so hey, welcome, November 18th, 2023. In the cheap seats, non-VIP platinum seating, we've got Barghost and Dawn Rhea, who Dawn was very upset when I said that earlier. That's why you heard her and not me. I told her to get on cam. Everybody missed that. We have CCP Swift with us, which you heard say hello, but I didn't announce them. And this is the pre-U.S. Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'm just going to go like that. Happy Thanksgiving to all my U.S. friends. Pre-Thanksgiving show. So hopefully everybody's ramping up and has their Christmas decorations up here in the U.S. already, because this is the weekend to do it. If you're not. So there you go.
You guys do it way too early.
Oh my God. My daughter had some Christmas decorations up November 1st. She's like, Jesus. It's over. Time for Thanksgiving for Christmas.
With how much you spend on decorations sometimes, if you want to have it up for 6 months of the year, fuck it. It's your fucking house. It's your rules. Do whatever the fuck you want.
By the way, there might be one house that we drive past in an adjacent neighborhood, and in their front window, right, they've got one of those big bay windows, right? I guarantee you, in May, they will still have their Christmas tree up. Absolutely. It's crazy.
That's a bit nuts. Like, I don't know what it's like in Iceland. Like, Swift, do people in Iceland put up Christmas stuff really early, or do they kind of
insanely early? And
wow.
they leave the lights up at least until February, March-ish. Just because it's kind of dark and depressing otherwise.
It's the bell of the ball.
Hey, Dirk.
Dirk!
Hello, good evening.
Dirk's here.
Well, hooray. Yay. There's much rejoicing. Is his minstrels with him? I'm not sure. Okay.
No, don't have any minstrels, no.
You need minstrels. You do.
Either
that or Palmer girls.
He is nursing a slightly better elbow now, though. So, you know.
Slightly better. It's on the way. It's on the mend.
That's good.
I'll note that yet again this week I have my Taetae Eric Christmas cup. If you'd like your own, we'll sell them shortly. Don't worry.
And just so everybody out there is like, you know, doesn't realize that this isn't just some like weird skit thing that like we're making up. Like you genuinely had to go into hospital to get, you know.
I was in hospital for a week. Yeah,
because of your elbow. See, people think that I just made that up. I kind of that isn't the case.
Nope, that one's
It
not a
genuinely
lie.
happened, okay? Maybe not quite how I described it, but it genuinely did happen.
I would imagine it happened very, very little like you described it, McLeod, but, it did happen nonetheless.
I may have embellished a little bit of things just to make it seem a little bit more, a little bit more dramatic. Okay?
By the
As
way,
you
by the
do.
way,
Well, it's just a bit of a word of warning to people out there. If you're going to do wrestling reenactment stuff and trying to like fly elbow people, make sure that they've washed.
Yeah. You don't want an infection.
I'm gonna share with you guys my favorite birthday gift. Okay,
Oh.
just to derail the conversation. I kind of had it. Okay, so it is. By the way, it's a pair of socks. Okay, it says the coolest guy on the conference call. Okay,
Mhm.
so I'm not sure how these really apply to any given conference call that you're on. I mean, do you have foot cam or something going on the conference? I mean, how are these? I mean, by the way,
depends on what conferences you go to or what like virtual conferences you attend, really.
And by the way, it's got the whole, hey, surfing some waves, dude symbol. Right? I mean, I don't know. I think I need foot cam on my next work conference call. I think everybody will.
You can't just give
that.
people foot cam for free. Like you have to monetize that stuff.
Monetize it.
No, it's like
that's
it's
how
like
that works.
No, it's like cocaine. You give them a few tastes for free, maybe a toe here and there, and then you go to the pay model.
I think you just got to blur it out, and then you can have a fee to unblur it.
You see, Swifty, you're a natural at this.
There you go.
He knows how this goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very.
What are we jumping into today?
What are we jumping into? We got lots of things.
Just a blurred picture on Instagram with a link to the premium content.
Mm-hmm. They are brown, so it is kind of fall-like here in the northeastern U.S. So fits right in.
Perfect.
All right.
Oh, by the way, we've got a few subscriptions we need to say thank you for. So thank you, Grandpa Red 82 for the sub. Eric, you subbed as well. Thanks. And obviously Brandon Specs as well. Cheers for the subs, guys. And obviously we very much appreciate the follows as well because more follows means more people who know when we're on as well.
Absolutely. And we'll try to be better as we go into the holiday season.
Yes.
By the way,
we'll try and be more consistent, even though we're probably the most consistent, talk show on the channel at this particular point in time.
At this particular point in time. By the way, this is a very sad thing. I think this might be a little demoralizing for my boys. Thing 1 and thing 2. We have a giant maple tree in our front yard, right? And they have done the leaves now twice. Okay. And they just did the leaves a couple days ago, and now it appears almost all the leaves are off the tree, and it looks like they didn't do any work. That's the one thing about fall in the eastern U.S.
The issue with piling up leaves into a big pile in America is dogs love that stuff. They will literally just run into that pile of leaves and have a good old time.
That's like we watched the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special the other day because we can. Linus jumping into a pile of leaves with a wet lollipop or sucker, right? And of course, all the leaves stick to his lollipop. It's very sad. But no, leaves. Yeah, we're not allowed to burn leaves where I live or anything like that. So we have to rake them up, put them in a big thing, and they take them away.
You sure you're not? You sort of have to explain to chat who Charlie Brown is.
Charlie Brown.
Aging yourself a little.
God, do we really need to explain that?
I mean, I kind of feel like maybe we might have to, but we really shouldn't. Essentially, Charlie Brown is started off as a cartoon in newspapers, magazines, but ended up actually becoming a TV cartoon as well. And yeah.
Well, they did a bunch of specials, right? Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. You got Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, and then you got the Christmas special. They're the three biggies. The three biggies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That's right.
all right.
By the way, U.S. folks, on the 27th, just a few days away, right? Don't miss the annual presentation of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So there you go.
The what?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I mean,
favorite reindeer.
Swift, you're originally an American. Can you help translate this since you've been living in Europe for a little while now, or is this just going to continue to be like madness?
So this has actually been kind of perplexing to me as an American living abroad. Like October, like so after Halloween, it seems like Europe starts to get ready for Christmas, and I'm like, what? No, Americans have Thanksgiving, which is like the perfect time, like to start Christmas. Everyone is on the same page. You're like, all right, the day after Thanksgiving, Christmas starts. On Thanksgiving Day, there's a massive parade in New York, and it's the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Very easygoing.
Oh, okay.
And at the end of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is Santa every single year since like whenever that thing started, and he calls in the start of Christmas because obviously it's Santa. And so, yeah, that's when all the cheesy Christmas stuff gets to start. That's where you can start blasting Michael Bublé, Mariah Carey. Anytime before that, no. It's Thanksgiving time. Get prepared, people.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so Swift has actually, in fact, made that worse for those of us here in Europe. Yeah, because like,
and it was made.
You tried to explain it, and instead you made it worse. Thank you. Really, bravo.
How did you make it worse?
Golf clap.
But isn't it just because they have those three big things in the period where we have nothing, so all the marketing people have to squeeze Christmas earlier and earlier? We don't have Pumpkin Day stuff, and we don't have all that shenanigan that the Americans do.
You don't understand. In October, Lowe's and Home Depot, man, they're packed with the Christmas stuff. All last week, Balsam Hill has had the 50% off sale for Black Friday, right? Black Friday is like the big shopping day, the Friday after Thanksgiving. It's huge.
Oh, God, yeah, Black Friday is coming up.
We can't really talk about Eve until 20 minutes into the show. It's the Dawn Rhea rule. Everyone that's watched this show will know this.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
but I have a question.
I mean, there's only 6 minutes left.
How did Swift make it worse in his explanation?
I don't think he made it worse.
Okay.
Well, because he started talking about this like Thanksgiving parade that's sponsored by whichever corporate entity it's sponsored by, and I'm like
Coca-Cola.
A major department store, and they have put it on for
Macy's, yeah.
Since before I was born,
70 years?
Right? 70-something years, right?
Yeah. Like, it would have been after World War II.
I mean, I only know, I've only heard previously of Macy's Day Parade basically because of Green Day, essentially.
Okay. Well,
that's
it's a big deal.
So that was how it got worse. Was like, I'm here trying to figure out how you guys get so crazy about this and so very specific, and then you've got this like corporate sponsored parade going on, and I'm just, I'm out.
Honestly, Dirk,
that's the line I draw. I'm out.
Honestly, Dirk, the reason why like Santa dresses in red and white is because he used to dress in green and white, but Coca-Cola changed that. So it's very corporate.
By the way, if you're there is a new season on Disney Plus, if you have Disney Plus, of the Santa Clauses. Season 2 is up, so you can catch season 1 if you didn't do it. So they actually took the Santa Claus movies and made it into a series.
I'm sure that's what everyone was really, really hoping for.
They are. You're ready. I mean, the first 3 episodes are already out. New episodes every Wednesday, just so you guys know. We watched those last night.
Does it have Tim Allen as well, or is
Yeah,
it
Tim Allen's in it. Yeah, it's all Tim
Really?
Allen. It's
Holy
great.
shit,
Yeah,
I thought he's been like
the original Mrs. Claus, Tim Allen. He's got 2 kids now. In fact, if you remember in the Santa Claus movies, the elf named Judy. In one of the season 2 episodes, they bring her back as an adult selling hot chocolate in the real world. So she's not an elf anymore. She's older. Yes.
Okay. So that was
See,
a thing.
Eve time.
Oh, Eve time. Eve time.
Yeah, I think on account that Swift's here with us, we can start Eve discussions a little bit early.
Sure, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's throw Swift in the deep end. Has anything big happened this week, Swift, that you're aware
We're
of
starting
in the
early?
world of EVE Online?
You might
Yeah.
want to sort of pimp a little bit.
What have you got? What are you bringing to the table this week as a big topic to talk about? Where do you want to go?
The settings window was introduced on Tuesday.
Oh my god.
The settings window was introduced. You heard it here first, guys. Eve did not have a settings window before Tuesday. Settings window was introduced.
Of all the things that you could start with, Swift, I thought you'd go with something a little bit
That was
less
perfect,
controversial, but that was
But no,
beautiful.
yeah.
Along with the settings window, we had a pretty big expansion, actually. One that's I'm actually giga excited about. It's fun to see people using it. The Pirate Insurgencies, Eve Havoc. Obviously, there's some other stuff. Core projects get iterated on. The NPE gets tweaked a little bit. Some other quality of life changes. But the one that people get really excited about is the Pirate Insurgencies. And people have been going bananas so far, as the kids say. Enlisting with the pirates, getting the new ships, killing each other, bringing low sec to have bubbles. There's now 2 high sec systems that are fully corrupted, so now you can just do anything you want in those high sec systems. It's almost next to Orval as well. It's going to bounce there soon enough.
Yikes!
Yeah, it's been a pretty cool week, actually. I'm really excited. I know the design teams. I wish I could take credit for it. I really did nothing, but the design teams are like really excited watching players interact with all the new stuff, like the new sites, right? So the Insurgencies came out on Tuesday, but there's a 48-hour cooldown period from when the forward operating base drops. So it was kind of like really, really excited on Tuesday, and then like, oh shit, we have to wait 2 days for them to like run the events.
Yeah, don't forget the 7 days of free Omega.
Yeah, definitely helped.
New Eden store before the 20th. 2 shopping days left.
You have to actually go into the store in the game. It's the bottom left little star thing that says NES. Make sure to go there and click it on all your alts so you can like do stuff with them.
I would like to point out. Hey, I have one point because I'm only here till fucking 2 o'clock.
Come on, then. Get on with it.
I just want to point out the Kizrael, the battle cruiser angel. A, it looks really good. B, it is insane. Don't try to brawl with it, but if you build it kiting bullshit, apparently it's fucking nuts. I don't know if that was planned.
It was planned to be pretty good kiting bullshit.
Like it's doing 600 with like an AB, I think, and 1600 with a micro warp drive. Just
while pushing out over 1,000 DPS.
Yeah, while pushing out a million.
I'm saying absolutely nothing about the fit that I've got open in Pi4 right now.
You've blinged it, haven't you?
I wonder.
There's only a slight little bit of bling, but you know it's hitting 2,400 meters a second cold.
Yeah.
With boosters, with boosters
ships.
and implants, or without?
With rapid deployment charge, and that's it on the Kizrael itself.
So not even Quafe Ultra and other things like
no drugs, no implants, nothing yet. Just like 2,400 meters a second in Pi4 cold.
Sorry, I'm now. Well, I mean, you know, I'm very much in the sort of realm of if you create a doctrine or a fit, like you boost it all the way up with, you know, a decent amount of drugs and implants, like not going over the top, not basically using like the 1%, but like I find it standard practice to basically, you know, add drugs, add implants, but not ludicrous ones.
Kids don't do drugs.
But like, if it's doing that without anything and just with like,
Yeah.
some command bonuses, Christ.
Yeah, and these are command bonuses from the Kisrael itself. This isn't even
Jesus.
like backpacking some other like command destroyer with you or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, this is just basic Kisrael fitting a skirmish command burst with a rapid deployment charge and a mind link. That's
Yikes.
The alligator is also just as OP, but in its own way.
It doesn't look as beautiful, as interesting though.
Yeah, I think because it looks like a Drake, people are just like, eh.
It's a
No
Drake.
thanks.
So it's,
I mean,
it's just a
yeah.
jump up Drake. Like, it's like quite
no
some jump
Drakes.
ups.
Drakes are bad, so you know.
It is a baby rattlesnake. That is the easiest way to describe it. 1,000 DPS. I think I got 790 EHP a second regen. You put it in a pulsar and you're doing 1,400 on the regen. It's just like,
I mean, these are nice
send me a
ships.
marauder.
These are definitely very nice ships. But before we dig too much further into that, when you started off your little thing of what you wanted to talk about, you mentioned the escape menu. Swift. Has something happened to the escape menu that
It has
people
been
should be
changed
aware
a bit.
of?
Yes.
They've
I'm
put
aware
a
that it's like super unpopular, right? But more
you
than
guys
just like people disliking change.
Yeah, I kind of hate it.
You guys maximize the window and then remove the reduced window size button.
I'm not gonna lie, I do
don't
kind of
know.
hate it. What you've done with my ultra-wide monitor is make everything go to the very far left of all of my screens, and that's just not fun, man.
Yeah, I don't think this was QA'd on ultra wides.
Yeah, the plan is to utilize that space, that empty space that's kind of empty now. But
I hope so.
Is that a teaser towards potentially
hope-
some other games coming soon, TM?
I hope that everything gets center justified, or at least shifted to a center justification to some degree.
so apart from
Why?
the people just going grr, hate it, people have been like giving like really strongly valid feedback as well, like especially for ultra wide monitors, just shoving everything to the side and then making like 3/4 of your monitor nothing but this white space.
Yeah, I
Not
mean,
the best feels in the world. So I know the teams are kind of tinkering with it, and hopefully we'll see something.
let me kind of.
If there's iteration going on internally of it, then that's always a good thing. Like
I'm
That's
gonna
what we
drop
wanna hear.
my escape window screen in mid-show messages for people.
no, this is probably going to be. Oh yes. There's some screen real estate that can be utilized in that. Like,
there's kind of a lot there going. There's just nothing going on.
So the thing is, like, if you just grabbed all of that and put that in the center, right? That would be, to me, I think that would be, the bare minimum kind of
It'd look
improvement in
okay,
terms of quality
yeah.
of life, right? But
Yeah,
I feel like there
could
could be
definitely
more
work with
screen
that.
real estate usage.
How about
But
that
it's
one
even
there?
worse. Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got a super
right?
wide.
Hang
That's
on,
my
hang on.
fault.
Hang on. I think our viewership is missing this, so I need to post that. That's Bard's kind of experience on an ultra wide with the settings menu. It's not exactly great, but hopefully that's. I mean, Swift, you're saying that it's being iterated upon internally at the moment. So that's good.
Yeah, we got a lot of good feedback from it.
Okay.
So hopefully the next time I'm on, I'll be able to bring good news of.
I mean, I do like. I don't know if this bit's new, but what is it called in there? Oh, the create themes.
Yes,
I do
that
like
is
the
new.
theme creation.
That is
That is definitely new, and it is like I've been having fun with that too. So this used to, like, back in the day, like, I don't know, I want to say when I was still relevant as an Eve player, so probably like almost 10 years ago, feels old, man. You
I
would be
think
able to
you're-
change your client, just the outside color, a little bit. So I'd set my Titan pilot to red, my spy character to pink, and like my mains to like just other ones, so I could easily see which one was which. That's kind of what I'm doing now, except for now that it allows you to change like so much more. So I'm really like tinkering with all the little customizations and having a nice
like
time with it.
the whole that there was a whole like quote unquote racial themes. So like if you were a Minmatar character, you could like get a rust kind of coloring going, or Galente would be kind of a greenish tint. And I mean, I've got to say, I did the same thing, right? With Titan characters or like FC characters, scouting alts, whatever. If they're doing different things, you set them up so that they've got different color UIs, and then when you're alt tabbing between them, you can kind of go, all right, I am alt tabbing definitely to the Titan now.
Yeah, so like if you use Evo,
Which is a big thing when it was a big thing when the jump and bridge buttons were so close together.
God.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so if you're like a hardcore gamer, I guess, and you have like the Evo preview, you can obviously it shows you the name of the client and stuff like that. But still, my brain only works so fast now, so I need colors. So I'm like really happy to have these extra colors. So I can like be like, oh, the green color is my Galente guy. The red one's my Angel guy. Okay, cool.
I think everybody with like not ultra sharp kind of vision is also very happy about the fact that you can still see colors too. So I'm sure you're not the only one there, Swift. Yeah. Okay, cool. I would like to say that I'm happy that I'm downloading Vanguard at the moment to enjoy it with this expansion.
How are you doing that?
Oh, you guys not doing that? I mean,
Like,
it did come
I'm
with
not
the
sure if
expansion. I did hear it say that there were Vanguard was coming with the expansion, right? Like, no.
So there is a playtest, like a mass stress test, but I don't think the emails went out just yet. There was one a couple days ago. I think it was maybe about a week and a half
It was
ago.
the 7th. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the stress tests where they focused, I think, mostly on US East of people that kind of signed up, just because that's the server they were wanting to tinker with and stuff like that. This one, if I understand right, the next one that's coming is going to be a little bit more in Europe and the US. So they're going to try multiple things. So you should get messaging about that too. But it's like at that point, it's going to be pretty bare bones, just testing the server stuff, and then stuff I can't talk about, but soon. TM. Actually, no. Oh, I can totally talk about it because we did say in December that you guys would be able to, as long as you have an Omega account, you'll be able to tinker with Vanguard. I think we called it like the Founders Access or something, which is
First Strike.
There you go.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Is that,
By the way,
is that
Get
like,
those fancy corporate names. It's not just the Founders, it's the First Strike. You know.
is that a
It's a more military term to it.
is while you may have said December before, is this the first show that's getting the actual date?
I don't actually know the date, so probably not.
Okay. All right.
I can like lob
Soon.
guess, but
Soon.
That's
Soon.
fine.
it's probably going to be a Tuesday.
Somewhere in
If I
December.
would
Yeah.
guess.
No, that would make a lot of sense. If it was a Friday, I would be like, oh God, what are they doing?
Rumors are swirling that the announcement date for First Strike, the release date for First Strike, is going to be when you make the change. When you break the old launcher, basically, is when they're gonna do it. Might there be any sort of truth to that sort of rumor? Could that
would
be
make
something you would
sense.
see happening?
I mean, that would make
That would
sense
make
because you
sense,
would be
yeah.
unifying your logins as well, like to some degree.
All right, so you had it here first,
Makes
guys.
sense.
Confirmed by CCP Swift. It is absolutely.
I don't think you can say that's confirmed by
Yeah.
Swift. Like,
It
it's a
is
bit of a stretch,
absolutely
dude.
coming in December, and
Okay.
it is highly likely that it would make sense that we will have this when they break the old launcher.
This
Yeah.
is why they don't trust me with like privileged information, because I would absolutely confirm it too, right? But it's probably even worse that they don't, because now I'm just like guessing.
Yeah, well,
You're just
recipes.
throwing out speculations as much as we are.
I mean, it's all right. You could not possibly confirm things more than CCP confirmed himself. So don't worry about that.
I'm just going to point out that Commander Starscream said that Eve 2 has now been confirmed by CCP Swift.
Just
throwing
tear the servers down, restart
wild
the game,
accusations.
everybody at 0.
Yeah, wild
Let it go,
accusations.
let it
We're the worst. We're the worst
ride.
show.
Ride.
I'm sure Swift knows just as well as us that would not be a good thing for the game.
I think it'd be great. Then there'd be like 10 people playing and get ahead of everybody else real quick.
So just so everybody knows, Push to Talk, the show where we make all kind of shit up and none of it has any basis. So just so everybody knows, we don't want Swift in trouble, and he hasn't done anything bad. So, yeah.
I thought he was about to scream "My people."
No.
By the way, the fight in
sure it's
WTech 4 is still very even money-wise.
There's a fight in WTAC 4, Dawn.
Very large
Why didn't you
fight.
tell us about this earlier? What?
You weren't here, motherfucker. The rest of us knew. Not my fault you're late as shit.
Attendance to the pre-show is required, Dirk.
Yeah.
Since when has that been a thing? Attendance to the pre-show is required.
By the way, I'm gonna give the audience.
What is this? Some sort of attempt at a proper show?
Dirk, as Eric has said, we make shit up on this show.
Yeah, it's all made up. This isn't a real show. This is like
there is a large fight going on in WTech 4.
I will say something that isn't made up. At this point in time, you can, if you had Dust character names prior to, Valkyrie and all that kind of stuff. Well, not Valkyrie, Vanguard.
Free?
You can actually register and I think sort of save your character names for Vanguard.
Yeah, exactly. Now. If you had a Dust character and you want to reserve the name, you can go for Vanguard. You can go ahead and do that. It should be in your email.
How many characters do you get? Like, how long is the name?
I mean, I've got Connor McLeod, so,
Okay. Well, because, one of my friends had, the best alt name, and then P-Horde mass reported it after being fine. It was fine in the game for, 12 years, but then P-Horde decided to mass report it, so it got changed. I was kind of hoping that someone could be Mr. Frisker, the Sister Fisker again.
We're going to hell. We're all going to hell.
By
the way, this is
to be fair, there is a long tradition with particularly giving Super and Titan names quite risque names. So at some point somebody so at some point somebody, complains about the name, and then you essentially get your name reset by CCP, and because your name is reset by CCP, it disappears all of the old Super and Titan login lists essentially. I mean, I know you know that particular one, Swift, from back in the day.
Yeah, back when especially when people would kind of the watch list was one-sided, so you just watch list anyone you wanted and see when they were on.
I remember those days when the right hand side of your screen just lit up.
Yeah, that's when you knew
something was going on,
up, right?
Or you fucked up, yeah.
I just want to point out for Dawn, this is a family show, especially when it's pre-Thanksgiving.
Not. When has this ever been a family show?
It's a family show. We've always said it's a family show.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
we've always claimed it was a family show, even when it did quite clearly wasn't.
It is not a family show.
I mean, this is true. These are words that we have always associated with the Push to Talk show. Yeah. Are they accurate words that we've associated with the Push to Talk show? Who could say? But we have always called it a family show.
It is. It is.
We've strived for it to be a family show, even though we've missed the mark quite consistently.
But we try. But we try.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
They're fighting in Cloud Ring if you want to go join in.
Cloud Ring. One of my favorite. That's still one of my favorite places in Eve.
That is the
Cloud Ring.
dumbest
I
design.
like it.
It's a circle. You can't.
I would say
I know.
that we did. I would say that there was a spectacular fail by goons in Cloud Ring earlier this week, Monday in actual fact.
Was that
On
Spectacular fail?
the
Keep
unanchoring
Star?
of a keep star? Yeah.
Yeah. Saw
Yeah.
a little bit about
That was hilarious.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, it was
How
inexpensive.
about
We
for
don't.
those
Number
who
one.
were not aware, explain what happened.
Well, I
We-
mean, basically, a keep star got suazed, and if you don't know what that refers to, Suaz was a former goon called Shut Up and Shave. He was the guy who created the song Little Bees. He ended up kind of going fuck goons at one point and, moving to, I think it was like Mercenary Coalition or something like that. Like, essentially, and essentially he played like unanchoring games with a keep star in, I think it was Syndicate at one time with, when in it were in Syndicate and like dealing with NC Dot and all that kind of stuff. And at one point they forgot about how long it was taking to anchor and their keep star unanchored, and they had to quickly pick it up. And when they picked it up in a freighter, it got shot and killed. And that's basically what happened in Cloud Ring. It was, but it wasn't it wasn't just forgetting how long it took, but Pandemic Horde jumped on the unanchoring and blew up. Well, actually, it was scooped by a member
By
of
Horde.
Brave, but it was a Pandemic Horde spy or something like that.
And then
it was claimed to be a spy, and then they killed their own freighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Idiots.
Here's the kill mail in Twitch chat for you all.
Yeah.
And I'll throw this in mid-show messages for everybody here as well. But
Mhm.
but yeah, so that's a 206 billion ISK freighter kill mail.
See, my initial thought when I heard about it was that they were just the freighter was just grabbing the core. And so when I first saw the sort of was it the battle report for it, I was like, well, where's the fucking keep star? And I was like, oh right, okay, this is that's what this is all about. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, and
There it is
the
for you.
Keepstar did get nuked, though the quantum core fell out. So
Well,
somebody's
it
30 billion
always
is
does.
The core
richer.
always does. The
It's
core can't be
100%.
destroyed.
It's always 100% drop rate on the cores.
Oh,
Yeah,
Hey, you can't kill them unless you
they are
right-click
literally
destroy.
immortal.
No, you could put it in a station, then do right click destroy, or
right, okay.
or
Trash.
delete or whatever. Trash, yeah.
Yeah.
So technically, you could get rid of them, but not from a ship drop.
But that's if you woke up like just wanting chaos.
seems
yeah,
a bit
like
anti-Eve
earlier
to
this
me.
week.
And to be fair, a few people, or at least one person that we know, woke up
And chose
at
violence?
some point and
Yeah.
chose violence this week.
Yeah. I have to be careful because I know a lot more than you guys do about all of that.
Well, I mean, I think do we breeze? Well, I think we will just breeze past this. Like it's obviously something that happened, and yeah.
You have another hour and a half of
Mason-
shit to talk about.
We do have more
I
shit
don't
to talk about for sure. But like Jay did fuck goons for whatever reason. Like the reason we still have no idea kind of quite why he did what he did. But these things happen sometimes, right? But he did basically steal everything that wasn't nailed down, and as Dawn said previously, including the kitchen sink.
Yeah, the kitchen sink is gone. But positive. So Goonwafa got cleared out completely, and I am happy to report that due to player donations, because we all like each other so much, we have double the amount of money we had before actually in our wallet, and all of our pods have been any pods that you lost, except for like a couple Gravana sets which came in today, have been replaced.
I mean, that's good, well and good on the WAF side of things, but I think
Everyone else can get
some-
wrecked.
some people from other corporations and alliances might still be feeling a little bit of that burn from those.
No. I'd like to point out they only lost pods. Okay, Gunwafa lost our entire capital cash and our wallet. All right, we lost more than anybody's else corp individually. Like, yeah, you lost some pods, but you can replace those over time. We lost actual ships, and then no one can be technically. Negrep probably lost close to as much as we did because Kunmi lost 14 Titan pods, so he was the #1 loser, confirmed by scraping logs. So.
Oh, apparently a quantum cores do die in cargoes as well.
Do they?
We did see mods can see the link that you posted, Drake for Life. Thank you very much for that, even though like the bot kind of killed that. So sorry about that. But yeah, apparently quantum cores can actually die in Rex. I didn't realize that.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link that Drake for Life just gave us. It's of a.
As for going boom, like of all the quips that I put together for the part where we're talking about Jay, the only one that I have been told that's actually okay, or at least has been mentioned that is actually okay for airing, is that last week I did say that there was going to be a large phallic object blowing up, but I didn't expect it to be Jay.
I mean, we should probably note for air how many clones actually did quote unquote die, and how this isn't actually how many died. But it was some 52,608, I think. Something like that, some in that region. 52,600 some at the very least. This possibly the most number of clones held in a structure anywhere in EVE. We have no proof that anybody else has more pods stored in some of those structures around the EVE galaxy.
Ooh, I have a good question. Okay, since Swift is our guest here. Swift, how did CCP feel when you put out this huge expansion on Tuesday and no one was talking about it because it was secondary news compared to this? Was it like a good like
on what circle you're in? Like, I imagine if you're in the Imperium, people were pretty much only talking about this. Same in a Horde, but outside of that, a lot of people were like chatting about the pirate stuff because they kind of wanted to get the new ships and figure out ways to like get the new Kisrael and stuff like that. So it probably depended on circles, but I thought it was pretty amazing. Like, this is one of the most like Eve stories that you can come up with. And I like totally feel bad as well because like I know Asher, I know Jay a little bit, and I know a bunch of people that are involved, and I'm like, I've had this happen to PL before, but it's like way smaller, right? They nuked like 800 clones or something, not even. And then we just replaced them all. But I've never had like a betrayal of this like magnitude happen. So poor guys. But it is like the most quintessential Eve story, and I think like a lot of CCPers were like incredibly intrigued by this because like this is like the type of, when you're talking about like the scale of the destruction that was lost, it's just incredibly massive. Just for one person to be able to deal in terms of like just in one stroke, more or less.
Yeah, and we are talking about trillions of ISK overall across a lot of people. Dawn's mentioned Kumi losing 14 Titan clones or something. I lost 2 Titan clones and a couple of other smaller bits of clones that I use for subcaps. And I know, other people who've lost a lot of pods too. Mert, I think, said that he lost something like 7 or 8.
Yeah, Merc is on the
value
top
pods
list.
So yeah, there's a lot of damage that can be done when you talk about this. So there are a couple of other points that I want to make on this clone story. First thing is that because of when he did this, because of when he made the pull, about 3 minutes before downtime, not everybody lost clones. They managed to get the clone servers back up and running fairly quickly. Our logistics guys and the team who run our citadels, they managed to get the servers up and running pretty quickly. And so when they went to downtime, the server apparently seems to have stopped processing clone destructions, and only like 30% of those 52,000 clones actually died. Seems that way.
It just shows how much crunching the server had to do. You know, that
Yeah.
it couldn't have done that. That only got like how much? 52,000
30%
done.
So
Like 30% of that done. Like in 3 minutes before the actual servers went down. Like,
no, 15,000 clones or something, 17,000,
Yeah.
somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
And so I do want to throw that one to Swift for a quick comment if he wants to as well about how the servers react to these sorts of huge events. And
I was actually
sort of
talking
comment.
with CCP Burger about this, and he was like, "Well, now we know exactly how many clones per second that TQ is able to churn through." Because like we went through and wanted to see like how many were affected and stuff like that, and we just wanted to make sure that nothing else was broken or nothing else like went against how the game was meant to go. So we did the GMs launched a pretty thorough investigation. The DB guys went and kind of looked to see what happened, and yeah, so now we know how many clones Tranquility can churn through in a second, and it's pretty quick, but it's not instantaneous. Right?
Is there a number you can share?
I'm glad we can help you guys find that out.
I understand.
I would never do that.
I understand why Swift and why CCP would not want to share that, because
I absolutely understand as well, but you've got to ask, right? When you hear about you guys doing these sorts of investigations, like, it'd be cool to get a write-up, actually, if you want to take that back, because we love hearing about the tech improvements to the cluster. It'd be really cool if we could get like even just a quick write-up on the investigation about this.
Whether more clone death needs to happen at a faster rate or not.
Let's put it this way, right? This code is not an option to put in a database procedure where it would have probably completed regardless of the node status. So we don't need that Swift. Okay, just saying.
That was one of the other things that I kind of wanted to ask. It is sort of company policy that the server and the performance of the server and whatever happens in the live scenario situation, whether it's something like this where somebody pulls clone services like 3 minutes before downtime, or whether it's a node dies in the middle of a firefight kind of thing, like. The node is the ultimate arbiter as to what happens and what stays and what goes, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of what they decided. Obviously, this would probably this is a case by case basis type thing when I'm talking about something of this magnitude. But the brain trust got together and they kind of just went through it all. They're like, well, should we nuke the rest of them? Should we restore some of them? And they basically decided like, nope, the ones that got destroyed, no reimbursement, no giving it back. The ones that didn't get destroyed, we're not going to go ahead and destroy, because
I think that's
the
best.
thing that stopped it, right?
I think that's best, because otherwise you end up in a situation where you have people basically looking at it going, well, you decided to go beyond what the server did in this instance, so why don't you retroactively do that for this instance, or for this fight, or for that situation, so it's like it never bodes well if you decide to sort of play beyond the node being, or the server being, the ultimate arbiter.
Yeah, and the part of the team that decides this have like, these are some of the more experienced EVE players that even I know, right? Like these people aren't just people who aren't familiar with the circumstances. They knew exactly the context of what everything was that happened and stuff like that. Some of our senior GMs have been playing for like 20 years, almost nonstop. PvP alliances, you name it. They've kind of done a little bit of everything. I know there's this, every once in a while there's a meme, and it kind of depends on year, I guess. But it sometimes feels like, oh, CCP only play in like these certain weird like wormhole alliances, or they only play in like X space or Y space. But ever since the rule change, I think 3 years ago, where CCPers can pretty much play anywhere they want as long as they are there's kind of a few terms that they have to agree to, like can't lead alliances and coalitions and stuff like that, can't have positions of power, can't abuse any privileged information, of course, right? Like that's an obvious. But they can, like, I could play with PL or goons or anyone I want. I can publicize who I am, or I can just kind of try and stay under the radar.
Yeah. I mean, I know
CCP
that-
Convict for a while
Convict's
was very
done that,
publicly
yeah.
playing within it.
Yeah, I think he's back.
He was in.
actually.
He was in my. He was in my court for a little while, like in it. So it was cool.
Yeah, there are a few CCPers in it. It's kind of like the hot place to be at the moment, I guess. I just keep thinking of Zoolander. It's like, oh, in it's so hot right now. But it kind of does feel that way. Like it does feel to be like kind of like the flavor of the month, flavor of the year alliance.
Well, we couldn't
ever since
hold.
they-
We couldn't hold the Garista horde, unfortunately.
Yeah, the Garissas were super mad about that Zarzak.
I mean, they did lose a lot of Caymans on that. Armor timer. Just saying.
I think they came back with 125. Just
It was
to make sure
ludicrous.
that they
I'm
could
just.
keep it paused.
I'm just saying it was ludicrous. It's like, this is just insane. I was hoping that there were going to be Komodos though, but never mind. I would say maybe next time, but like, I don't know. Maybe there might be a next time. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows indeed. My last comment on this, which again I'm going to throw to Swift for a thing, is the way Jay has kind of exited Goonswarm. Obviously, big story in terms of the betrayal and everything, but he has in fact ended up in your old stomping grounds over in PL. He is now a member of Sniggardly.
Number one retirement home. Oh yeah, we still got it.
I did think to myself, oh, Sniggardly, where have I heard that before? Oh yeah, where most people who are exiting, go to retire. Yeah.
No, I mean, PL's, I think definitely in the last 18 months kind of redefined themselves a little bit, found a lot of activity. I have no idea if Jay is going to be active. I'm not involved in any PL leadership, but I do know like the day-to-day fleets are super fun. People are having a good time. It's kind of fun to see some names pop back. Got people like some great names, some names that you're like, why does this guy have to come back? But it is fun to see like a lot of old friends like pop back in the PL.
I mean, I don't know whether you saw the FC Pando chat with Shadu and
with Shadu and V. Oh, that was amazing.
That was so good. Yeah, that was pretty good. He did have some choice words to say about what's his face.
So my first ever Eve meet that I went to, I wasn't like, I'd never gone to a player convention before. I didn't really think it was my type of thing. But Shadu was going, Seamus, who was the one time at the time the executive PL, was going, a whole bunch of other people were going, and Gobbins was also going. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go. If it's weird, they don't know what I look like, I'll just like dip right at the end. But ended up getting along really well with everyone. And I became addicted to Eve meets, and it was great. But Shadu and Gobbins have this like very strange friendship where Shadu, I think Shadu kind of hates him a little bit, but like not hate, but like how you would I don't know. It's just
I've heard recordings of them two in fleet comms.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Shadu's voice could go that high.
Yeah. And so in one of the reason I bring this up is because in one of the everyone was taking pictures and stuff. And in one of the pictures, Shadu was pretending to choke a Gobbins for the picture, because it was like, Shadu hates Gobbins, lol. But I guess Shadu just really sold it, right? Like he went full out, He didn't do any pretend choking. He was actually choking goblins. And we see this guy's face turn like red and blue. We're like, whoa, 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 let's save goblins over here. But no, I think they actually they get along well. They just have like these really fun moments. I guess more family moments than friend moments.
I like that description.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah. But yeah, I was listening to that, and he was like, "Goblins leads one of the largest alliances now. I might have to come back." And I'm like, "Let's go, dude."
Yeah, it was a good FC chat for sure.
Yeah, like those.
They
two
talked a
were
lot about
definitely on
spying. They did. They talk a lot about spying on that one, and obviously there's some aspects of that obviously also hit home a little bit this week as well for Goons to some degree. But yeah, spying has always been one of those bits of the game it's a really touchy subject, because like you get into the realms of, are you taking the game too far or not, right?
Yeah, and the time in PL, like especially when Shadu was talking about it, PL were really the boogeymen of the game.
I felt that. Yeah, I definitely felt that. I remember as a member of the NC, the old NC, the old Northern Coalition, when PL were real boogeymen with, their Thundercats. That was scary. That was genuinely quite scary when you heard that PL are in system with Thundercats. So like, oh, okay. So we're basically dead then.
And Shadu, like in the FC chat, you're talking about, Shadu was talking about like how often he was spying, and a lot of it was just because that's the only way he could find where the enemy fleet was going to be, or like the exact route that they were trying to extract through. And so like he didn't necessarily use it for tactical advantage, though I'm sure he did sometimes, but it was very much like,
I mean, if he didn't need the tactical advantage, he had it there just for propaganda purposes, right? That's what he said. He was like, he always loved like leaking the other side's comms, fleet comms, when it all went to hell in a handbasket, right?
Yeah, I think especially when PL and Test were fighting, and like the Honey Badger Coalition, before the Money Badger Coalition, the Honey Badger Coalition was fighting like AAA and the Southern Coalition, and that group had never really been displaced from that space ever. And then along comes Rick Hoover, who just every day after a fleet, he'll just post the SoundCloud clips of like the enemy comms, and you just hear them like getting frustrated, and just snowballed so hard. And I think at that point people realized like, oh, this level is of like espionage actually can make an alliance fail cascade, because it's just like whenever you get a win.
And embolden as well, because you maybe from pure like battle reports and that kind of thing and propaganda flying about, like like not propaganda as in fleet comms, but like propaganda from from the alliances. You would get that kind of, you may not get that idea that something that you're doing is actually working, but when you get leaked fleet comms of people being super frustrated, it shows you that it is working.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to sell, sit for 4 hours on this Titan to wait for a bridge, when you can kind of like go through and say, oh, this is what this guy's been going through.
Yeah.
Though I will say, like, when on Thursday I went out and like enlisted with the Angels on one alt, and I enlisted with the Galente on my main. And when I was flying with the Angels, like there was like I didn't have any groups, I just directly enlisted. And there were a lot of like public fleets going out, so I was like, cool. I joined one public fleet, and this guy who had never heard before was like, hey, I got this one guy tackled in this site. Everyone just warp there. And so I was like, all right, well, everyone's going to warp there. I'm going to follow through.
Let's see what it's all
there,
about.
Jumped in, and it's just like a death trap that I'm jumping into. And it was like these guys were just on this comms, like they weren't even in the militia or the fleet, and they were just saying, "Yeah, warp to this open, and I've got this Kisrul instructor." So everyone was just like zerg in one by
Oh
one.
my god, Kisrul kill mail, like
just into their death. And I looked at his kill board afterwards, and by like 3 p.m. he had like 140 kills.
Jesus.
And I was like, oh, jeez.
I mean,
Nice work, man.
Yeah,
I know Sedition are doing similar up in the Baristas militia. They've been having new alts enrolled in it as Baristas, pretending to do the Plex, waiting for a bunch of people to come in just to scout their fleet. And it's just like, jeez.
It's fun to see the chaos, right? And I think we were talking before the show, Don was mentioning that like Goons, Horde, Fraternity, they're all kind of enlisted in the same groups, but they will shoot each other, absolutely.
We're at war, so we can.
Yeah. And I remember landing on a complex and like Fraternity were there. I'm like, all right, they're blue to me technically. And then I see another blue fleet come in at range. I'm like, oh, this looks kind of shaky.
They're blue to me as well, but
yeah. And then I just see like scramble messages start popping up and just shit dying. And then a third fleet will come in and they just like all get focused down as well. It's like, Jesus. It's pure chaos out here. It's great.
Speaking of the chaos that you've been involved in, I'm taking a sneak peek at your official character's kill board right now. CCP Swift's kill board.
Oh,
you've been having fun over there.
I've been doing some feeding. Yeah.
Over there in the war zone. I'm seeing a lot of Imicus Navy issues.
So CCP B, who some may remember as Bjorn B, and the rest of the community team, every Friday we go out on a roam around like 1,500 or so, just to mess around. And this time we were like, yeah, let's try the new content. And we were like, well, we're going to enlist with the Galente, and we're going to just go out in some frigates and just see what we can do. And everywhere we went, we like walked into a wall of like 20 cruisers or like 20 draugrs, or just like we thought it would just be easy pickings, right, for a bunch of stuff, and we'd be able to go and dominate or whatever. And we just got our butts whipped by these like organized groups. I saw Lee Chanka flying around in space, which was kind of dope. But like we're like, oh yeah, we'll just go and like raise the suppression in these systems. And no, we just got utterly stomped. But then towards the end, we grouped up with Sedition. We joined their fleet, and it was just back and forth, nonstop fights for an hour. And when all was said and done, there was like, I think it was like 8 billion done in like cruiser fights, and it was just so absolutely wild and fun. Like everyone was competing over this one site. Because A, it's the new content, everyone wants to try it, and B, it's like insanely valuable right now, right? Like if you don't want to just cap the sites and earn 15k LP or whatever, just go out PvP and you'll get a shitload of LP. It's nuts. Like my wallet was blinking every couple minutes. But yeah, I fed a lot. Yeah, I died. I like to say, or I like to think, that like I died so that everyone else could get kills, right? Like that's the obvious.
That's the story. All right. Yeah. And I will say I'm very impressed with you for flying around with a more expensive pod than the ship you were in.
Yes.
As well. Bravo for that.
We needed that implant to fit everything. It was either that or Abyssal Rule stuff, or fit a faction mod, and we're like, let's just throw this in here. And usually, like, I'm kind of a dick when it comes to, like, I don't know if I'm a dick, but like, I just have this like built-in response when I get potted. I just instantly warp out. Like, it's just something that's been honed into me for years and years of playing Eve. And the like, the CCPers are like, you could just let them kill you, dude. Like, it's fine. So they're trying to beat this instinct out of me.
That nullsec instinct of, oh my god, my clone.
Yeah, because otherwise I'll just like go to a safe spot and self-destruct to go home, like, or go to a station and self-destruct to go home. But they're like, hey, you can die. It's fine. Like,
You got
it's
to
kind
make
of
them
cool.
work. You got to make them work for it, Swift. Like, you can't have a CCP Swift, corpse be something that is 10 a penny out there. It needs
Yeah,
to be. It needs
exactly.
to
I
be a
need
premium thing.
do need to keep it a little bit exclusive.
Yeah.
Honestly, watching that stream was funny yesterday. Like,
Yeah, it was absolutely clowny, and it's like, just speaking as a, not even as a CCP, but as like an Eve player, like, if you like PvP at all, you should absolutely just throw an alt into there. Like, fly around in a slasher or a rifter, do some dump or a griffin. Like, just be a dick, start jamming people. You can join a fleet. It's so easy. Either side that you join is going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, the pirates have like a little bit more cool stuff because they've got new things in their LP store, and they've got Zarzak, and they've got, being able to put bubbles in low sec, which we can now do, or make Concord stop responding in high sec, which we can now do. But it is just an absolute blast. It's some of the most fun I've had playing Eve. I was talking to CCP Aurora, and she was like, "I'm exhausted from killing people." Obviously, she was not dying, but like, she was in like an organized fleet doing it properly and winning. But she was like, "Yeah, I played Eve for 8 hours after work, and I'm just exhausted from killing people. I'm hitting. I've hit my kill limit. I just had to go to sleep after some point."
That's a good problem to have, though, right? Like,
Yeah, and the scale is also really fun too, because it's between like 2 and 3 people up to like 30 or 40. So nothing so far, at least that I've seen, has gotten that much bigger. Snuff are flying around in stuff. They're not dropping blops on everything because, honestly, how chaotic it is, they'd probably get their asses kicked.
Yeah. I'd imagine in that kind of chaos, it would be a case of, yeah, you may be able to get like a decent amount of kills, but like not enough for them to feel justified.
Yeah, someone's gonna
right?
zerg your marshals and just pop them, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, from a numbers wise, like looking at the expansion, like it's been popping off. Like, I mean,
are you stealing
this
my
weekend
topic, Matt?
I mean, I didn't realize you wanted it as your topic as such, but like
it's
you
fine.
can go for it, dude. Like, go for it.
Yeah, like the player count is through the roof this weekend.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if anyone else has been checking it, and especially you, Swift. I presume there's probably been internal comments, but we've crossed a point that we haven't seen for a couple of years, which is fucking amazing.
yeah, I mean, it's super nice, right? Like, to, as an Eve player, just to be able to see Eve active in a lot of areas of space. Like, I'm sure the luster of this is going to eventually diminish a little bit, and people are going to go back to what they were doing before. But it is an absolute blast to play Eve, no matter where you are. It feels like. Um, Obviously, there's a big fight going down in nullsec right now. There's massive skirmishes going around in lowsec. There was a capital little fight yesterday.
I mean,
Pockland's still going crazy wild. Like, pretty much no matter where you go, there's a lot of fun to be had.
But honestly, I think the changes that you've added and the accessibility of the content, like the Pirate Insurgency's content, is like really, really good with regards to allowing people to go in and enjoy this, even if they have responsibilities in other places, right? It's not a case of like, oh, this is just for low seckers or this is just for high seckers. Like, this is something that, anybody can put together an alt and throw it in and enjoy and have fun, right? And as you say, it's not like everybody's getting blobbed all the time. There's there's moderately large scale fights, there's medium scale fights, there's small scale fights, whole variety of different things going on, and there's also the incentives there with the LP, right? So it's fire. I mean, I kind of feel like it's firing on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, and of course we have things like obviously there's free Omega for people. It's gonna boost it up a little bit, right? But there was the down the rabbit hole video that premiered a week and a half ago. With it's got like 2.5 million views or something ludicrous. So there's like a lot of people coming back for that. But also it feels like it's like since the Uprising expansion, we've kind of CCP has kind of done pretty good in terms of putting out. Obviously, every once in a while we'll step on the rake and hit ourselves in the face, but you know we got to do that just to make sure we can still feel right. But like introducing fun content, iterating on things, making life a little bit easier. I really am, and I know people are just gonna, at least probably a couple months ago or maybe a year ago, if I had said like, "Yo, I think Eve's going in the right direction, guys," they'd be like, "Yeah, they pay you to say that, whatever." I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, they don't really pay me to say that, but like, sure, I could just not say anything too. Like, I just, but I honestly believe that we're going in the right direction. Eve's got like a really cool path forward. I feel like CCP's doing a little bit better iterating on stuff. And, you know, if I can brag a little bit, like, I think some of it has to do with some of the new hires as well. Like, if you look at people who work at CCP, even if we're not talking about like people in the development position or anything that, or leadership position, you've got people with the Mondo Eve chops kind of all over the place now. So like you're flying a Kizreal and it kind of feels like maybe Sutonia might have had something to do with that. Like if you have that in your mind, you're like, yeah, he did. Like he did some work with that. Like he and the rest of the team kind of developed that ship. Aurora and her team doing stuff for this, and you know, just you can just feel that there's eviness inside of CCP.
Yeah, it's feeling good again in a way that I'm going to be very blunt. It didn't for a while, and I know I've taken some flack on this show in recent weeks and over the last month or so. As I've been saying, actually, you know, I'm hyped about Eve again. Like, I'm excited. There's stuff going on that's cool, that's interesting. They've grabbed my attention again. You know, it's not just
multiple accounts again. Like
I have 5 accounts currently up and running. 5 accounts currently up and running. Which is more than I had for a hell of a long time. More than I had for probably 2 years. Because I was kind of like busy with real life stuff and job stuff and everything as well, but there was kind of a flat period in like Eve that I was just not feeling it, and I've got to say, you know, the Uprising expansion and then following it up with this stuff, the stuff going on in LoSec and these pirate enlistment stuff, it's just exciting. It really is. I'm hyped. Yeah. I think people should be hopping back into the game. I'm actually like recommending people hop back into the game if you're missing Eve. So like, it's good to feel that way again. I've got to say, massive props to CCP across the board generally, but you know, specifically Aurora, Sutonia, the guys who are doing the development work on the ground, really well done.
I'd be remiss if I didn't give a lot of credit to CCP Rattati as well. Like I know he's depending on where you are in Eve, he might not be your favorite guy, but like he very much came up with a strategy last year, just like right after FanFest and last year. He was like, you know what? Let's just shut up and like put our money, like just do it, right? Like don't talk about what we're gonna do. Don't like make empty promises. As much as we can, just fucking do it and deliver good expansion after good expansion after good expansion, and show these people that like we will like continue down this line. So like no empty statements, no nothing like that. And like a lot of people have just like taken that to heart and they're like, all right, fuck it, let's do it. And the excitement inside CCP is like really palpable. Like it's like people are watching streams, they're just like, oh shit, do they? And it's like people that you wouldn't expect, right? Like the accountant is watching it, like our HR people are like, hey, can you tell me like what's going on in nullsec. I want to know all the hubbub about like what's going on in B2, and I'm like, oh shit, like why do you guys care? But fine, like let's do it. And it's really electric, and it's a lot of fun.
So oddly enough, like it's Rotati's been a bit of a swear word in on this show a little bit.
I was gonna say
the past year or two.
That's a banned word on the show. I mean, you're
not gonna lie, right? And part of that is down to, I mean, the thing is, Swift, when the content is right and the updates and the changes are good, just getting down and doing it is great. Like, I'm not going to say that that's not great, because that is great. But when the content is ill-advised and the methodology is, just the wrong way to do it, just getting down and doing it, regardless of what the player base is saying, is not the best thing. So I'm glad that it's going the right way.
Yeah, I am too.
In that regard.
Here's the thing, like we've got a lot of, not to interrupt, I'm sorry, but we've got a lot of like internal communication with like we talk to the players a lot, like CCP Rattati and CCP Burger, or the kind of like the big wigs, right, of like deciding the future. They sat down with people late last year and they were like, what do you hate about Eve? Like, what's a problem with Eve? What do you want to see? Like, stuff like that. They talk to alliance leaders, like they talk to Asher, they talk to Shines, they talk to Gobbins, they talk to Headline, like they talk to anyone that would go out and listen, not only in high nullsec, but like low sec, in high sec. Like they just went out and they'd spent 2-3 hours a night with some of these people, and they'd just be like, yo, tell me what sucks. And for a lot of times, like they listened, and then we've got this thing set up internally where we can raise any issue if we think it's huge enough. The CSM are doing a really great job. This CSM is starting off a little bit slow, but like they are going to be making a huge impact in their term this year, and I can feel it already with what they've already done.
There's not a large amount of incumbents in this particular CSM, so there's a bunch of people getting up to speed, right? And that's always one of those things.
That's kind of like a little bit of it. We have to spend a little bit more time on introductions and like, here's where you go for that, here, like on onboarding. But they're going to have their summit here pretty soon in the beginning of next year. We're still deciding on that, but I've made some enemies at CCP a little bit, because when we plan the summit, we're planning, this is what we did last year, and this is what we're going to be doing this year as well. We're planning it while the teams are in like their scoping phases and like still deciding on exactly what they can do and what they want to do and what
this is like budget season for next year. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like these producers are like, no, can we like do this in like the month after? And I'm like, no, we can't. Like they need to be here while you guys are making the decisions. They can't be.
Yeah, they can't be
at the
because
end
if they
when they're just getting presentations, right?
Yeah, because if they pew your decisions that have already been made and been finalized that you're doing, then it's kind of a bit. But if they can direct it a little bit better before you've made the actual full commitments, that's probably better.
Yeah, and obviously the CSM. I don't want to sound like I'm overstating what the CSM can do. They can't just.
They can't override you guys. Like but their input probably is beneficial for you guys to. Yeah, it's beneficial for you guys to listen to them.
There's a level of like, we're taking this direction, and then they will see stumbling blocks that you can kind of route around. That if they don't have that conversation early enough in the process, then you hit the stumbling blocks before the CSM even get a chance to talk about it, right? So
yeah. Exactly. And we want to do, like, I try to do, I don't want the CSM to be blindsided by anything, or like if they're disappointed that they didn't get to change something, that's fine. But as long as they were able to communicate like, hey, this is probably going to be an issue. I've got it down written in a design document that people can look at in 6 months time. So they can say like, yeah, maybe the CSM were right about that. But it is cool to see the excitement from developers to talk to the CSM. especially on like the final day of the summit, which is where the CSM is like prepares like mini presentations towards the company. It's like broadcast internally to everyone. Everyone kind of watches it, and they refer to it a little bit later on as well during their design phases. But I don't know, it just feels really good, and I think this expansion just shows that direction is still the path that we're on, and the next one hopefully is going to be just as fun as this one.
Well, it's good to hear that like it's not a case of, you know, progress regardless of player sentiment kind of thing, and you know the fact that this expansion is good despite the you know what CCP are doing kind of thing. Like it's because you guys have actually been listening and have actually been, you know, adjusting to some, you know, to some degree, but still have that clarity, or at least that drive, you know, in the upper levels to say, just get on and do it.
Yeah, and we will screw up. Like, they're absolutely gonna screw up. But hopefully, I'm hoping, and I'm like really kind of happy about this. That like in the long term, I can say like, okay, yeah, we've got like 3 or 4 screw ups, but look at all the cool shit we did. Look at the stuff we actually iterated on. Look at the changes that we're making that you guys want. And just giving you guys tools to do dumb shit. Like, I want to see it. Like if this week has proved anything, it's that like we can't make up a story nearly as good as what actually happens in Eve, right? Like,
and part of me kind of wonders whether, so you know, and you know, obviously you're alluding to something that happened, you know, earlier on this week, but like part of me kind of wonders whether, you know, CCP shouldn't change certain things that people have like the capacity to do, right? Because it creates these scenarios or this unprecedented nature of something happening in the game that just is so massive, right? I do wonder.
Yeah, and me too. There's always like a curiosity over how that's going to look for me.
Yeah, and Brisk, I don't mean the escape menu.
But please do fix the escape menu.
But yes, please fix the escape menu.
We'll add just a red dot to the escape menu on the right-hand side.
Oh, I was going to actually saying that you mentioned that. I did see in Reddit that the red dot has reappeared, apparently, and you know, probably to the detriment of what Brisk can do at this point in time. But
yeah,
I saw
we just
that there
do
was
that
some
to make sure that Brisk has to run for CSM again next year.
triggers him just the right amount.
Hey, did we get our Brisk shower picture today?
I don't
No,
think we
Brisk
have,
is still Brisk is still holding out on us. I mean,
I'm canceling the subscription.
We're gonna have to cut him
I'm done
off.
with this shit. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done with this. All right.
This is the point where Swift's like, what is this?
Yeah, everybody's like, what the hell? I don't.
Do we need proof that Brisk shower? Like I've spent
like
2 years talking to
we've
him every week. So
we've got pictures of Brisk. We have legitimate Brisk shower pics. Like,
are they legitimate, or did we hack the Brisk shower cam? Which is it, McLeod?
Like,
I don't know. He was posing pretty well. I don't think that was an impromptu like screen grab in any way, shape, or form.
Why is he snaking the drain? I don't know. So
is this a question that you want the answer to?
No, I don't. I don't think I do. I don't think that.
And if anybody out there is thinking to themselves, well, no, but we've all seen Brisk showering. He showers in a suit.
He does.
He doesn't always shower in a suit. I'm just going to say that.
Suit.
Yeah, sometimes it's just like a sports coat. You know, it's got to be a little casual.
Sports coat and khakis, little shower cap. You know, sometimes he spices it up. You know, sometimes no tie.
Sometimes a Hawaiian shirt, you know.
Sometimes tieless. Okay. But yeah. Is that too much information? Oh, we're an adult show, so we're good. We're not in the family mode anymore, right? Because Dawn screwed that up today.
Oh, one thing I did forget to bring up, and I think this is something that people might find really cool.
Yeah, go for it.
And something that like the community team's kind of been pushing for some time, and luckily we've had some good buy-in from CCP as well. But I don't know if you guys are familiar with Tiamber on or Caldari Prime Pony Club on Reddit. He's been making like ship skins in his own little design studio for several years, and every time he does it, they're bangers. And people are like,
Yeah, we love
why
Tamba.
don't you just
I
why don't
feel
you
like
just
the
make
art
this
team
guy
has
do
a
stuff?
love-hate relationship with him.
He's got our tools now. He
Oh,
has made his first set of skins. So he made his very first skin for the 20th anniversary collector's edition. The
Yeah.
Megathron skin in there is his. But he made the very first, or helped with making the very first Kizriel and Mecha Ball skins. So if you look at the Insurgency line, those are made by him. And if
I
you look
wondered
at
why they look so dope.
Yeah. And if you look at the dazzling or the what is it called? The new line for the SOCT ships, those are also made by him. He's got a couple of skins out now, and there's more to come as well.
I mean,
But they are officially like from his loins, maybe.
I'm
Is
gonna ask
that where
something-
you're going with that one?
I'm gonna ask
You
something.
want to go with that?
I'm gonna ask
These
something,
skins
but
have come from Tamba's loins.
Yeah. Yes. That's a full set. Let's go. No regrets.
I'm pretty certain you can't answer this, but like, you know, when are we getting like fur rendering on skins?
I
Oh
mean,
my
he's
God.
inside now, right? Like,
Oh my god.
Because we've seen it on like his renders like back in the day. Like I remember he did like a kind of like a cow skin kind of one before, and that looked pretty badass on a Megathron, I believe, which was pretty cool. But yeah,
I've got to say,
Lots of
I'm looking
different
at these Imperium Outlaw skins that have been launched. I think they're in the online store at the moment, but I'm looking at them in game, and they are looking nice on the Kizriel and the Macariel. Like they look awesome.
yeah,
They do
I
look
think
cool.
so too. I'm bummed. I'm annoyed that we don't get them for free. So like, as soon as
Now
they
you got to
came
pay
out-
for them.
Yeah, I had to pay for them. CCP Convict did too. There's a few like avid skin collectors at CCP who just, why do these have to come out? Why do they have to look so good? Like, I need them now.
oh yeah. No,
It is great that you've brought Tamba on to work with you guys though, because as you say, he's been doing stuff for years off his own like design studio with his own modeling and everything all in the back end, and he's been making some banging stuff, some absolutely awesome stuff that I hope we will now potentially get to see in the game down the line. And a
Oh my
wild
god, we
horrendous
have
appears.
a random horrendous for the last half hour of the show, maybe.
Whoa!
Good evening, horrendous.
Potentially, unless it's Horrendous's cat. In which case, in which case, we might all be screwed because it would mean that Horrendous's cat has, you know,
Finally
upgraded-
murdered him.
Finally
Is it
murdered him
that-
and up-
She'll be coming for you next.
Oh, welcome, Horrendous.
I was a little bit preoccupied with some things. Did
Tax
anybody
returns, I
note?
believe.
Did anybody note that we got a pre-shower pick from Press?
Oh dear.
Ah, did we?
We did.
Yeah.
Oh, we
We
did.
did.
Oh my god.
There
By
we
the way-
go.
Hi there.
The
By the
OnlyFans
way-
does actually provide content.
We don't
All right,
want to know
but-
what he's doing with that.
We're just gonna go subscription renewed for another month. You're
Yeah.
good, brother.
So
I'm gonna drop this into mid-show messages so that CCP Swift can enjoy this with us.
Oh,
All right. Okay. He is.
Yeah,
He is.
by the way,
sneaking
by the
in.
way-
you see, it does actually exist.
by the way,
We're not just bullshitting every single time that we talk about it.
By the way, there is a there's a copyright on that, and that means you cannot share that with anybody.
Yeah, that's push to talk
Please.
exclusive.
Yeah, push
From,
that.
from my eyes only. Nice. That's good.
You get to enjoy it with us because you're here with us today.
Yeah. James Bond shit. Okay, James Bond. Okay, you can't even show Moneypenny. All right. That's the way it goes.
God.
So I'm gonna throw a curveball.
Just quickly before you run that curveball, I'd just like to say thank you very much to Itchy Scout for that sub, by the way, for 22 months as well. Thank you.
By the way, is it a curveball or a knuckleball? Which one is it?
I'm going to apologize in advance.
It's going to be a beanball.
This might put you in a corner. I'm really hesitant. Is there any realistic chance that we see insurgencies for the other pirate factions in the near future?
I am not going to cash a check that someone else or what I fucked up that.
I
bungled that one, but like I'm not sure. I do know CCP Delegate Zero and the narrative team and some of the design team at FanFest kind of hinted that this was going to be a possibility and something that might be coming in the future. But when the future is, I don't know, and what that looks like, I don't know exactly. But like, I can't see why not.
Another thing that was kind of hinted at to some degree at FanFest was that this kind of these systems, these mechanics, may become the basis for a reworked sovereignty system. Anything that you could share with us about that?
Not yet. I can't share anything cool around for what's coming in the future expansions yet. And plus, you wouldn't want to hear from me. You wouldn't want to hear from the bigwigs, anyways.
I mean,
that's probably cool.
We do want to see a new solve system coming sometime soon, though. So Sothrasil can stop being such a liar about his Intosis materials.
I'll be totally honest. I'd rather hear it from you than from the bigwig executives.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're a big deal, Swig. All right.
I was a big deal.
You are a big deal. You're a big deal on this show. You're a big deal.
Yeah, people may think people in CCP may think that you're not too much of a big deal, but in the eyes of the player base, you are.
Oh, that means a lot. Like, I'm really happy to hear that. I know my glory days as a player behind me, but I'm glad I can still do some cool stuff with
McLeod, I pushed the button on the stream deck to make his head get bigger on the screen. It didn't work.
Look,
why is that animation?
Who are you trying to make bigger?
Swift, because he's a big deal.
Why are you trying to inflate his head? I mean, that's
ego.
Let's just all take a moment and appreciate the fact that it's not until after your glory days are over that you can then get a Springsteen video.
There you go.
That was all about the past.
There you go. A glass half full shit right there too.
There you go.
But no, I think I say this honestly from what I've seen. I know that I feel like the future is really bright, and I know a lot of people are going to be stoked. And I think we've got like the perfect CSM as well for like doing what our future plans are. You can kind of don't want to read into that too much, but like it's super balanced if you look at the CSM.
No, I actually do genuinely quite like the CSM. It's good.
Also, just to put it out there, if this does become the basis for like, a sovereignty system, can we like actually go all the way with this and wind up with the ability to, nibble at high sec and have high sec nibble at null sec?
Oh god.
Oh god. That has dangerous connotations right there.
I know. I know.
That would be cool, though.
There has to be a level of minimum and maximums on that, I believe. Like, just
nibble.
Of course.
Yeah, absolute
just safety, a little nibble.
Of course.
By the way,
the day that dev blog hits, CVA will be absolutely fucking stoked. CVA will finally get to make Provi their own again if they can form the fleets for it.
They've taken chunks of it back already, right?
Yeah, they've been working on
They're
it.
not actually doing that bad.
I have a question here. I mean, Caleb has been gone for a while. I mean, were his churros delivered, or what the hell happened, right?
The churros did arrive. We know for a fact that the churros did arrive.
We still never got an
Beyond
answer
that,
on why
I think we need to.
why they
find
got
a Pokemon or
tacos and then then they got churros. I mean, is it two different places that their taqueria not have churros? I mean, and what kind of taqueria doesn't have churros?
What are you babbling on, Eric?
Oh, he's back.
Or did you get?
I'm semi back. I'm just not on cam right now.
Right. Okay.
Well, the thing is, we
He's
went
stuffing his face with churros.
Well, they were really sort of nice, but they seem to have forgotten to turn on the deep fryer or something because it was really fucking late and the service was horrible. Seemed like there was no adult in the staff, and yeah, we're not going back there because we ended up paying the ad libitum price for 3 tacos. So fuck you guys.
Why did you get 3 tacos each, or 3 tacos among the two of you?
3 total. Me 2, and Riv got 1, and then we had the churros and some drinks, and we ended up paying like almost $100 for that. I was like, what?
What the fuck?
What?
Oh,
Were those like life-size tacos? Like what kind of tacos?
Those
are we
better
talking
be
about?
some big ass
It's
tacos.
because
I mean-
they have this eat all eat what you can
All
in
you
2
can eat?
hours.
Is that what
Yeah,
they're
and it's 2 hours, right? For the table. And if we had been there like with friends and stuff for 2 hours, I'm sure I could have had plenty of tacos, but we were just there for a snack and we ended up paying full price for it. It's like, Jesus Christ, you should fix that in your bill, you stupid
Can I
people.
suggest not going there if you're not going to be there for like 2 hours with a whole bunch of people?
Well,
Yeah.
they had this stupid thing. They were trying to be all modern, right? So you got a tablet to order stuff on, and it had the worst layout ever. This was like worse than CCP layouts. So basically, you had this.
Fired.
Caleb, they're working on that. All right. Like,
I know they're working on it. I hope these guys do as well, because the top one was when you're ordering for the all you can eat, and then bottom one was a la carte, and we ended up clicking on the wrong part of the menu, so we ended up paying.
Oh, so you
full
paid
price.
all that because of PEBCAC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. No, but it was not very obvious because, well, I'm a little bit sad that I didn't take pictures because it looked like something that was made in the fucking 90s. It was horrible.
Don't worry, dude.
Well,
like,
you were alive for the 90s. You were already an adult in the 90s. You should be able to navigate that.
Don't
But I
worry,
was
Caleb, like,
confused. There was no animated GIF things, and yeah.
I have been subject to the the unfortunately clicking the wrong things in a substandard UI, but unlike you paying a little bit too much for for 3 tacos and some churros, I unfortunately turned one of my data hard drives into basically what is a glorified installation disk for Windows.
Yes, you did that.
That's not good. That was
Caleb,
that was not a good day.
I know you're going to have trouble believing this because, this was not the case in Europe so much. But the 90s was more than just Angel Fire. Really?
Really?
I don't think you'll ever convince Caleb of that.
Well, and there was no music on coming from the tab, so it's like this is 90s layout. There's there's no horror music. There's no exploding Starfield shit gifs on it. So,
By the way,
so I was just confused.
Uh-huh.
By the way,
and message for Horrendous. We solved a very, very huge conflict last episode of Push to Talk.
Oh?
The GIF versus GIF.
Oh dear.
It's actually HIF, like in Gila Monster.
It's like Gila. It's HIF.
No.
Yes, it is. We've decided that's the compromise that will end the war.
Okay, see, this is where
That's not going to end anything.
This is where you're encountering the problem, Caleb. This is the internet, and the internet is not made for resolving conflicts. Clearly, it is YIF, and everybody using that format is a furry.
It's like
Oh,
Yennefer.
no,
It's like
no.
Yennefer. Yif.
Oh,
By the way,
so many references in this.
by the way,
Jesus.
Caleb, just to help you out here, you could have got 4 soft tacos, 4 Doritos Locos tacos, 2 fries, a bunch of cheese,
That's right.
some chips, and 1, 2, 3, 4 beef burritos for $24.99 here in the United States. So I think you overpaid a little bit.
A little bit. I'm pretty sure I could have fed the entire room right now for that amount. But anyways, it was sad because the actual food was
Caleb,
good.
there's still
but
just the 2 of you in the
service was
room.
terrible.
you want to?
Finish horrendous.
No, look around you. Like look at the room you're sitting in. There's still just the 2 of you there. So if you can't feed the room for that, there's a problem.
We're so mean.
This is normal level mean. There's no escalation.
Yeah, this is pretty
normal level.
This is standard.
This is
horrendous
amicable.
cutting.
This is friendly mode.
You know, I'm not raging and walking off the set.
No, that's only when you're exposed to sarcasm.
and I'm completely oblivious to it.
I really am sorry about that.
It's the most glorious story from Push to Talk ever. You need a blue passport now, Horrendous. You can get a passport. They won't shoot you when you come in a small boat or anything.
I know every so often I bring it up, Horrendous, but like really the issue was more me than you, because I just, for whatever reason that day, I was just letting everything get to me.
Well, but a Brit that misses the sarcasm, that's either you lose your passport or you need to give one to Horrendous.
Hey, I'm just going to point out,
pretty gold.
You know, I'm going to assume you bought 2 churros for like $9 and you paid like $30 a taco.
Oh, we got this really nice where they were like bent, so they were like looped, and then the loops were in ice cream. They were really nice.
Ooh,
okay, you still paid
$30
a
idea.
taco. $30 a taco.
By the way, thank you very much, Sadis, for subbing, and I do actually want to say that I missed a sub earlier on. I'm just trying to scroll back to find it.
We rely on you for one thing.
Federation Frontline Report. Thank you very much for the sub as well.
One thing, Matt.
We do?
Well,
you know,
apparently it's unwritten, and I only just found out from Dirk.
By the way, I think Sadis
I need
has
to get
the
a small thing in here that is a little bit overdue, because way back in ye olden days when Swift actually was hired by CCP, he promised this show that he would do like a whole series of him starting and living in Iceland, and we never got that.
I have zero recollection of this, but
I don't even have recollection of this.
Oh, I remember this very vividly because he agreed more than once that he would do something like that as soon as he landed in Iceland.
Yeah, but you just paid $100 for some tacos. I'm not sure we can trust your judgment.
I would pay $100 for some tacos. Like, this country has no tacos.
No food.
That's different.
Swift, do we need to
you may need to get like imports from like, I don't know, somewhere for actual like
when
decent,
the CSM come to
decent
visit,
Mexican stuff.
Assuming the volcano doesn't nuke everything.
Oh yeah.
I might, like, I'm just so desperate for a burrito.
Just
I might
plead.
ask them to smuggle in like some.
Can they get that through customs?
Yeah, just
Swift, do you want us to flash freeze a couple, Taco Bell or something? What do you want?
There
what do you
is a single Taco Bell in this country.
Holy
I
crap!
imagine it's
weird.
probably not that great.
But you know what?
not.
It is not a Taco Bell KFC, is it? Combination.
It is.
Oh, it is? Oh
a
my
Taco Bell
God!
KFC.
That's awesome.
Wait, what?
Kentucky Fried Chicken, baby. The Colonel.
Yeah.
KFC is actually it's probably the biggest fast food place here. Like from international fast food brands. There's it's super popular.
What was that
it's
movie where?
decently good.
What was that movie where, all fast food restaurants in the future are Taco Bell?
Demolition Man.
There you go. That's almost a Christmas show, but not quite.
No, the Christmas movie is Die Hard.
We're not allowed to talk about that movie or Idiocracy, because those two movies, we should just forget they were ever made. That was way too prophetic for my taste.
What, Die Hard or Demolition Man?
No, Demolition Man and Idiocracy.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen Idiocracy.
I'm pretty sure physical sex is still allowed in Los Angeles, Caleb.
Are you sure? If you want to completely avoid like consent laws and stuff, are you sure?
You see, this is how.
Now I'm really worried about what the hell you're hearing about Los Angeles, Caleb.
This is how weird and tangential this show sometimes gets, Swift.
Yeah.
It's the Seinfeld impact.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know that Swift catches up on our show during the week once he gets back into the office anyway, right? So he should know. He should know very well how we do.
Monday morning, 8 a.m. until just before downtime. Black out my calendar. Just have to recap.
I don't know what you're going to fill the spot with this week then.
Now we know. Now we got to
do
send
actual
Swift some.
work. I don't know.
We'll send
We did
Swift
break
some.
36,000 players though, which I
Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah,
awesome.
That is like a
long may it continue.
indeed.
that's almost a 10-year average, I think, hitting that. So that's nice.
I think the thing that got me was we hit 35 at 3 p.m. Eve time.
Yeah, that's not even the highest. The typically the highest for the weekend. The highest for the weekend is normally Sunday.
Yeah, but it was just 3 p.m. Saturday. We're not even into the EU/US time zone crossover bit yet, where it gets busy.
What is the sigh about, Horrendous?
I don't know. We got Caleb going on about whether or not you're going to have sex in Los Angeles, and now Bard's bringing up Slash.
I think it's cool that I don't even have to go to Los Angeles. I can just do it remotely.
Oh dear.
It's not the same.
I don't think Google Street View really, I don't think that's
It wasn't
really
designed for
a
that.
holiday.
In any case, Horrendous, it's not the LA area that we're looking at. We are thinking of buying a big farm in either Montana or Wyoming.
Oh God, not this!
Yep.
Oh, if you go to Montana,
No, okay,
are you going to raise
first off-
rabbits? Are you going to raise rabbits
First
in
off-
Montana?
Commit to Wyoming.
Yeah.
The only problem is that what I learned from Yellowstone is that that's where all the dead bodies are dropped.
That doesn't matter.
It worries me a little bit.
That doesn't matter. The last time a European wanted to move to Montana, he got shot just at the end of Red October.
There you go.
I have played Far Cry 5. I know exactly how to prepare for moving to Montana.
He didn't get to Montana.
He would have liked to have seen Montana, but he never got to it.
And he was going to raise rabbits.
I'm not planning on raising rabbits.
Yeah, you're planning on raising raptors.
If possible, I would, but I don't think the climate is optimal for raptors.
Caleb, how many pings? Nobody help him.
One ping only,
What?
please.
God damn it, I said nobody help him.
I was halfway there when you said it.
I'm not Russian.
Take your time, that's okay.
So I don't know if is it still one ping?
It is still one ping.
It is
Okay.
one ping only.
Oh, then you're screwed. You're going to get shot before you get to Montana.
I kind of need to watch that movie now. Goddamn.
We will.
I love that film.
We will make no apologies for enticing you to watch
They're
classic.
trying to get me to go to Portland. That's not an option. I do not want to become some sort of new age Order Armee-Fraktion or something. I'm not taking part in your politics. Forget about it.
I said Wyoming.
Yeah.
No, the chat said Portland.
Well, that's
Well,
just
that's
dumb.
chat, but that's just
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah.
They want
can't
Which
trust
Portland? The big question is which Portland?
Yeah.
Say
the
this
one
is
with all the one with all the crazies.
I mean, I'm just saying that there
Okay,
is
listen,
a Portland in
you've
the
either
UK.
You've either got just in the U.S. You've either got
Yeah.
Portland, Oregon, which is full of the new age hippies,
Portland, Maine.
or Portland, Maine,
Yeah.
which is full of New England rednecks. So whichever way, it's going to be full of crazies.
which has
Can I
better
also just
seafood.
point out that
Hold on,
Portland
this
in
is a
the
big-
UK is also full of crazies.
But which has better seafood?
I
Maine
Portland,
think
UK.
or Oregon?
I think the little sign, like when you enter Portland in the UK, like typically we have signs in the UK for towns that say twinned with, and it was a European. It was like a little thing to sort of like make us feel a little bit more like, you know, connected with Europe as such. It should just read twinned with crazies.
Yeah. By the way, you don't want to go to Maine and you don't want to go to Oregon. You want to go to Intercourse, Pennsylvania. That's where you want to go.
God
say
damn.
that name again.
I think we can keep Caleb out of there.
So,
The only thing that bothers me about America, especially the northern part, is this weird climate thing that you've got going, where it's like Mediterranean in the summer, and then like Finland, Russian cold in the winters. Like, how do you even do that?
I kind of feel like Swift would prefer that with just winter all the time.
You know, the Icelandic winter's not so bad. I actually thought that the winter would be harder because, I mean, the temperature is relatively temperate, right? It kind of just stays around. Like right now, it's like between 0 and 6. And we've had snow once.
Celsius or Fahrenheit?
And also depends on how
Celsius,
close to the cold area
He's
you're at as well.
converted. He's converted to metric.
I've been forced
Yeah, been forced.
against my will. When I say it's the mid 40s, people freak out. So I'm like, oh shit, it's like 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's not so bad. But the dark is kind of crazy. Like just in a couple weeks, it's just not going to be sunlight anymore.
You know what? You know what film you need to watch then, Swift? 30 Days of Night.
That's kind of what it feels. Well, I have a feeling
I
it's
was
probably
going to
close.
say the.
I mean, that's kind of what it was
Okay.
based on. The you know, high Arctic Circle kind of area, and you know what would happen if you had vampires,
Dude, vampires would do so
Ooh.
well here.
right?
Only during the winter.
Yeah, only
Yeah,
during
in the
the
summer they're
it's-
super fucked, right? Like, and that's so I thought I'd be fine in the summer. I thought it'd be like NBD. I am miserable here in the summer because like the sun's always up. All of my like cues for when to do anything in life is gone. Like, when do I wake up? I have no idea. It's 3 in the morning. It's just as bright as 9 in the morning. Like,
Yeah,
When do I
welcome to
eat
the world of
lunch?
alarm clocks.
yeah, it's still harsh.
yeah, that's still hard.
Yeah, it's just.
But
it's
I kind
difficult.
of I feel like it's still harsh even when it's, you know, when it's perpetually dark as well, because it's like you're getting up and it's like, I mean, it's fucking dark. It's still fucking night. But you know,
Yeah, they overcompensate here by leaving their Christmas decorations up. So at least it's like when you leave right now, there's just a whole bunch of Christmas lights up that are on 24/7 because, you know, it's dark. People get kind of depressed and energy's basically free. So they're just like, yeah, let it fly.
man, I wish I could experience that.
Yeah. We'll steer away from the
Yeah.
politics of energy prices in the UK right now.
But just
my-
note this, Swift. I'm envious about that.
Yeah, my power bill, and I have an EV as well that I charge in my like little basement. $22 this month. It was
Yeah, fuck you.
a little high.
so
Jesus
just-
Christ.
that was very. I'm sorry. That was very very abrupt of me. But yeah, fuck you for that one. Just a little bit.
Oh my god.
Matt, you say you'd like to experience that or have to deal with that, but I believe CCP currently have an open community role, don't they?
If you'd like to experience $22 or €22 for your electricity bill, you can of course always join CCP.
There you go.
I mean,
you
compared to
talk
UK
about
prices, it
electricity
probably makes it
bills?
worth it.
UK guys, you're not allowed to talk about energy prices. Really, you should tone that one down.
Our energy prices are fucking terrible. But yes.
You got shot in the head. That was crazy.
Yes. This is true.
Oh, well.
Anyway, we are at 55 minutes past the hour. We should probably do our one last things, like a quick one last thing.
Sure.
Swifty, you know the score with this, right? Is there anything that you wish you would have said, or that you wanted a point that you wanted to make, or anything that hasn't been brought up that you wanted to bring up in the show?
I think I'm good. Thanks for having me on. First of all, it was super dope to be able to no one ever wants me on talk shows. They're like, "Hey, Swift, can
You get other people on.
Get
It's
on
like,
this
oh, no.
podcast? Like, can you get this other person? Can you get like CCP Aurora, CCP Kesha?" I'm like, sure. No one wants CCP
Aw.
Swift. Poor CCP Swift.
Aw.
You're welcome
it's
anytime.
good.
All right. Well, yeah. No matter how
pretty
much
sure
you guys deny
he's
it,
had an
drop by
open-
whenever.
I'm pretty
Yes.
sure that open invitation has been handed to you more than once, Swift, from this show.
Then I'll make sure to take you guys up on it more often.
Especially
I
when we
always
get
forget
that
how
launch
it
thing
is.
December, right? Can we get you to promise to come back and talk about the new stuff?
Sure. I don't work at all with that project really, but
Doesn't matter.
Even
Talk
better.
about it.
Yeah.
I'll make some stuff up about it. Let's go. All right.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
How do you
Oh,
like
yeah.
vote one of them to then join you or something?
Then we can-
Look, this is push to talk, not the meta show. We don't demand
Yeah.
anybody know what the fuck they're saying.
Yeah. The more you make up, the more we like you, Swift. Just remember that. It doesn't have to be true.
Hell yeah.
I should put an exclaimer, like there's just scrolling.
An
at the bottom,
exclaimer.
Yes,
Exclaim away, Mac.
Just everything said in this show is clearly bullshit, and you
This
should.
needs to be exclaimed far and wide.
That doesn't
names-
matter. If we wait long enough, or if we just lie long enough, it becomes fact, right? It's like,
No,
True.
just slap up one of those online interactions, maybe different from the label things. You know?
I love how
Yeah.
Gragles is in staff only. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, dude. Whenever you want to come back on,
Yeah.
and we always love to have you.
Yeah,
Sweet.
We don't care.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
When CSM
sorry,
stuff starts going, I'll stop talking.
No,
No.
please.
When
You're the guest.
CSM Summit stuff gets like a little bit more formalized, I'll hop on and share their schedule and shit.
Okay, cool.
That'd be cool. That would be
Thanks,
cool.
Luke.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys the scoop. How's that?
Are we going to become like the CSM oversight committee?
No.
It's really dangerous to
No.
make that.
sounds like a horrible
We don't have
job.
professionalism for that.
CSM oversight committee. Yeah,
What if the
CSM, we've
had a
overlooked it.
CSM, right?
We've overlooked it. All right, horrendous. Your one last thing, because McLeod keeps trying to call you up.
My one last thing. Okay, so apropos of a very recent discussion topic now, I would just like to, while definitely adding my heartfelt congratulations, though it's been a while since you got the job. Congratulations on the gig, Swift. Also, though, my condolences, because I swear to God, as much as Augusts here suck, you could not pry me out of the New York City area with a freaking crowbar. Just
I do miss New York.
so that was it.
All
There you
right.
go.
Cool. Bargust?
I don't know what to say.
Say it anyway.
Pirate Faction War is fun. You should try it. I have made a good LP already, and I have the new battle cruisers in build.
There you go.
Expect me to lose them rapidly.
Make sure
Maybe
to build
go
them
kill
in
some pirates.
Zarzak, by the way. Don't build them elsewhere.
Oh, I haven't done it in Zarzak because I'm
Yeah.
doing it somewhere else, but that bonus in there is mental.
All right.
It's little, but
What's the bonus in Zarzak? Sorry, I must have missed that.
it's a little bit of an efficiency bonus for building in Zarzak.
Oh, if
And
you're like signed up to
70%
one of the
speed
militia or
reduction.
whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's a nice little bone to throw at people who are trying to build stuff in there. That's cool.
All right. Caleb, the Taco King.
I have a controversial last thing. Because
Oh, there's
What
a
a
shock.
surprise!
now I've noticed that this whole ambulation like thing is happening in Eve again. So we will have 3D bodies and stuff. So I am really hyped to see when we get some Rule 34 mods for that stuff. That is what I am really hyped about. If that happens, I might actually crawl back into the game.
Let's go 4th decade. Let's do that one. Let's plan it out now.
Well, we get the models now, so I'm sure someone will figure out how to deal with that stuff. I'm not going to say it's going to be T Amber, but it could be T Amber.
You never know.
He's known for that part of stuff as well, if people don't know that.
I mean, his other name is Caldari Prime Pony Club. If people somehow missed that,
Yeah,
then
well, it was kind of hinted. He outed himself on that one.
a little bit, yeah.
Nice.
Dirk?
I'm going to circle back to something that we talked about just briefly earlier on, which is the fight in WTAC 4, which is so heavily tie-dyed as to basically be at a standstill. But it is still ongoing, and the current Z-Killboard battle report has it at a 120 billion-esque so far destroyed. Good guys beating Pandemic Horde down at a ratio of 45 bill lost to 75.5 bill killed. So carry on the Imperium, our B2 friends, and the Initiative as well. Keep on punching Pandemic Horde in the face.
Or is it keep on trucking, you know? Keep on.
Keep on keeping on.
Yeah, that's me. Just a quick update on the ongoing fight in WTAC 4.
Yep.
Mac, did you do yours?
I haven't, but what I would say is if you haven't done already, go and get your 7 days of Omega time from the store, in-game store. And apparently EVE Online was mentioned or had a little bit in the an article in PC Gamer about the most important games and moments in 30 years of PC gaming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not going to throw that one up, but yeah, we had that link. Yeah.
Nah, it's fair. It's fair.
Cool.
I just wanted to mention it. It was something that we didn't cover.
No, let's throw a quick link to the article in Twitch chat at least.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't need to go up in
it
doesn't need to go up on the screen, but throw the link in Twitch chat for people real quick, just so that if you're interested, you can kind of read those huge moments of 30 years of the last 30 years of gaming.
Yeah, there's 3 parts to it, by the way. So yeah.
All right, then I'll go. Thank you, CCP Swift, for joining us today. It was great fun. You're always welcome, as we said. You know, so always feel free to reach out to us if you need something. Also, happy Thanksgiving to all my folks in the United States and CCP Swift. Our family will be watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. If you can't watch it, we'll watch it for you while we have a big breakfast. So that's a big deal at our house. So you know, and Caleb, hope you get some churros. What?
I wanted to mention that there is a meta show in what would be 55 minutes time. And I believe there's going to be a person with some mittens on the show.
Oh, that would be fingerless gloves, folks. No fingerless gloves. You know, because it's cold.
Talking betrayal in EVE Online.
Fingerless gloves is something different. Eric.
Cold.
Fingerless gloves is cutoffs.
No, there's no fingers. They're just mittens. Not cut off. They wouldn't be mittens if they were fingerless gloves.
Right, but that you just said mittens are fingerless gloves. Mittens are not fingerless gloves. Mittens are gloves with all the fingers in one pocket.
Okay, gloves with all the.
That did not land how I was hoping it was going to land. But yes, the Matani's going to be on Meta Show in 55 minutes. Check it out.
I think it landed exactly the way it should.
Yeah, It did. Everybody, you have a wonderful weekend. We will see you next weekend for the post-Thanksgiving show. Okay, and you know,
Well,
keep it here. You will not. By the way, Rendis, are you going to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade since you know you're a big New York boy?
No, I'm going to have a house full of family members that I really can't stand. So.
Yeah, and by the way, if you didn't know that,
I'm mostly going to be trying to avoid going to jail.
Yeah.
But
By the way,
your cat will have multiple new targets to go at.
No, she's going to be carefully locked up because my sister's dog will be here.
Oh, okay.
And the cat used to live with a couple of dogs who were absolutely no threat and will not actually understand this one will kill her until it does.
Right, yeah. It's good.
Yeah,
good
yeah.
call to
By the
keep
way,
them separate.
Yeah. You all would have known that about Arendis had you been here at previous shows. So if you didn't know that, that means you don't watch long enough. All right.
Okay, everybody. Forgotten about his situation there, but yeah. Anyway,
everybody have a great weekend, and we are out of here.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.